Well, hi everyone. I'm John Retlin back with another double review, two more Netflix originals, and wow, I love both of these. I'm not even going to mix words. One's a documentary called A Secret Love, the other is an Italian drama called 18 Presents. These are two goddamn great movies that just were released on Netflix recently, and I highly recommend that you watch both of these. These were both goddamn great. I loved one more than the other, and I will tell you why here in just a little bit. But like any multi-movie reviews that I do, spoilers. There are going to be spoilers here. The first one, documentary, A Secret Love, and takes place in St. Charles, Illinois, and is about there's also some parts in Canada that we get to a little bit later. This one isn't going to be a very long review because it's a documentary about Terry Donahue and Pat Henschel, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce any of those names at all. Terry Donahue, famous female baseball player, and this is a love story where they met in 1947 and fell for each other and kept their love secret, the relationship secret, for so many years. And Terry was born in 1925 and Pat was born in 1928. So by that point, you had just like a few years age difference, but this takes place over a period of years at the very, tail end of their life where they share their story about how, at that time, same-sex relationships were definitely frowned upon. Unfortunately, in some aspects of society today, they are still frowned upon, which is stupid, by the way. If you're consenting adults, you should be able to love who you want to love, and that's a central theme, the main central theme of this. Now they both tell their stories, and great, directing, by the way, by the guy Chris, I believe was his name. I didn't catch his last name, but he did quite well. And what surprised me was that Blumhouse helped produce this. Jason Blum of Blumhouse, the ones that did Fantasy Island and all those cheesy horror movies and everything, and you had Ryan Murphy also. You may have heard that name if you're any kind of American Horror Story fan. But this is pretty damn amazing because you just get to watch two older women, they're in their 90s, share their stories about growing up. You get to see a lot of archive footage, a lot of old pics, footage of Terry playing baseball, and just the amount of shit that they had to go through. And it's tightly wrapped up in a 80-minute documentary. I mean, it's not a terribly long movie, but it covers everything that it needs to, and it's not a fluff piece. It does cover the fact that there was a family member that was very homophobic and had raised some of the children, some of the brothers and sisters in a way to treat it as evil, but they didn't want to see it that way. They wanted to grow up accepting people who they were, and eventually when they decided to tell their close family members something that they probably already knew, but hearing it from them meant a lot. They wanted to accept them for who they were, and they never got married. Now, they did get married more towards the end of their life, and spent the last 2 years as a married couple up in Canada, close to Terry's family. But it was a very, very sad thing because you see the health issues that Terry goes through and Pat, they both go through issues. I mean, they're in their 90s. That is going to happen. But you think by the time Terry passed away, Terry did unfortunately pass away about a year before this documentary was released. It was March 24th of 2019. You think about 72 years of your life with somebody, and not just a member of your family. I mean, because obviously, if you're lucky, you can get that much time with somebody, but 72 years, that is so much of someone's life. That's longer than some people could live in 2 lifetimes. This was really goddamn good. Great to see, even, the seedier parts, the parts where you have a couple that just relies on each other so much that the family wants to be let in to help ultimately, and there's some divide, but maybe it's some stuff that people are seeing, that they want to see. They don't realize that, hey, it's just because somebody loves the other. They're not trying to keep them away from them. But I recommend you guys watch this movie. This movie really is fabulous. It absolutely gets an A. Now, the one that I really liked, that I was very surprised by, even though I actually thought it would be good, was 18 Presents. And it's an Italian drama about a mother that is diagnosed with terminal breast cancer while pregnant, and she leaves 18 gifts for her daughter to be given on her respective birthdays from age 1 all the way to age 18. And the daughter Anna is kind of rebellious and everything because her mother died right after she was born. And so, like any child, when they lose a parent that early and only know one parent, they may grow up not not necessarily being bad, but just acting out and stuff like that, and acting where they just feel like the world's against them. Like, why would you take this person from me? Like, well, what did I do? I never got a chance to have both my parents. That's what she's saying. I'm fortunate enough to have had both my parents raise me and to have them both in my life still to this day. So I consider myself fortunate. A lot of people may get this may touch them even more, having experienced loss of a parent or maybe a grandparent, whoever raised you, and losing that, lifeline, that anchor in your life could definitely, send somebody off the deep end. Now, there isn't this isn't a terribly, I don't want to say it's not a deep movie, but it's like if you look at it just on the surface, a girl gets 18 gifts, this kind of stuff, and we see footage of her getting these gifts as she grows up, but she's a girl that's acting out. And on her 18th birthday, she doesn't go to her party. She goes out one night, goes to a bar, runs into one of her dad's old friends, who actually used to be a player on his soccer team, because the dad's a soccer coach, because Italy, because of course it would have something to do with soccer, or football as they call it over there. I do apologize to any of my Italian fans that are watching, all two of you, I imagine, because I can't imagine my reach in Italy is all that far. But if so, I'm very happy that you're watching. The dad, the dad is not aware of where his daughter Anna is, and this guy who used to know the dad, used to be a player, said, "Well, I'm going to call your dad." Oh wait, she tries to leave, and she leaves and passes out on the street because she gets in a bit of a car accident. Like, something happened. What the hell happened? Well, suddenly she's picked up by this woman in the rain, and it turns out that it's her mother, because Anna has suffered a concussion. She's in the hospital and she's dreaming this stuff, and this is a way of her brain coping. Now I'm going to take it easy on this, because this movie got to me a whole lot more than I thought it would. I didn't think it would. Now, because foreign movies are hit and miss. And I love Parasite, I love Portrait of a Lady on Fire, and I love some other ones. And I love Live Twice, Love Once. That one's really good. Highly recommend you guys watch that one too. That's another Netflix original. For some reason, this just grabbed me. Maybe it's the fact that she was, Anna's like this, she's trying to be this tough as nails girl, like, I don't care what I do. Yes, my dad has been there for me, but she's acting out because she's upset she never got to know her mother. This is her brain's way of coping and getting her to know her mother. So she gets to see basically what happened from the pregnancy on, from like the early stages of the pregnancy on to when her mother, Alicia, found out that she had breast cancer and could get treatment, but the problem is to get treatment, she would have to lose the baby. So it was weighing the options. She wanted to have this kid because she never thought she'd be able to get pregnant, and there's a whole bunch of really good shit in this movie. The dialogue, the music, the acting's very, very good. I would highly recommend focusing, or checking out the performances mainly, and there's supporting characters and stuff like that, but by the mother, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the actresses' names or the actors' names, because I'm just going to get them totally wrong, because I always get foreign names wrong. But the mother, Anna, and the dad are particularly great characters, but really focuses on the relationship between Anna and her mother. Might have to end this review sooner. Because this movie made me cry again more than I thought it would. And it actually was really goddamn good. The idea is she's in this, Alicia's in this therapy session with other cancer, endurers and some, in the case, survivors. She befriends one who, is kind of a player. She, she's happy even though she has cancer. She's been, sleeping with other guys. She's just been out there living. And she taught English in school and stuff like that, and and Alicia says, "Hell, when I go, can you please teach my daughter some English? I want her to learn this and have a better life than I did." Not that she had a bad life, but she wants her to be able to grow and be a better person. She makes this list of all these gifts, and it's really good shit. It's really, really good shit. she comes to grip with the diagnosis, Alicia does, and Anna, since she's at her house, helps her and helps her get through this, and we get the bonding and stuff like that, and it's really, again, really good. It's such good shit. Cue the Vince McMahon voice. But this really, really is good. She helps her make the list of gifts, and then Anna sees herself in the hospital, like has a vision and everything, because she's starting to wake up out of this medically induced coma to like reduce the brain stress and stuff like that and get better. And time runs short. She sees, as she's waking up, she sees her mother, goes into labor, and her mother writes a bunch writes a bunch of notes about what this will mean to her. Sorry. So anyway, she writes some notes, and hey, I hope you grow up good and just know that these gifts mean something to me. And there's something about this blue dress that the mother really liked, and says, probably out of style. Basically, Anna learns that her mother did love her and that she didn't leave her. And she, develops a good relationship with her dad and her family and everything. And it's all good. This was really good. Sorry guys, I'm probably going to get made fun of for this, but I don't often give this grade out, but I'm going to give it an A+. I don't think I've given out an A+ for a while. Probably should have given an A+ to Portrait of a Lady on Fire, because that ending really stuck with me, and this ending really stuck with me. It's really good shit. So I recommend you guys check out 18 Presents, and definitely check out A Secret Love as well. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.